Good morning. As you can tell, I haven't got dressed or done anything. Well, I have done a lot. I've been up. I've had my coffee, kind of communed with the guides, done my solar gazing, had breakfast, and I knew, talking with Raphael today, he was going to channel. And at first, I made a request of him, and he agreed, which surprised me, to speak about what's going on with the deep state and all these things that are happening. But as time went on, I realized that from where he's at, politics don't matter. What matters is us and what we do. So I kind of relented and said, okay, well, whatever you're going to do, whatever you're going to bring, then that's what's important for us to hear. So that's where I stand. I'm burping a little from my breakfast. Pardon me. I don't know exactly where. Oh, here he comes. Greetings, dear ones, and welcome this morning. As James said, we had a discussion, and I had tentatively agreed to do something that normally we on this side don't deal with. And the reason for that is it isn't important. It really has no bearing. And you look at it from your 3D position and say, how can it have no bearing? There's all this, there's this and this and this and this, there's drama here, drama there, war here, starvation. That doesn't matter. It's just what's happening. And as the earth is changing, the frequency is rising, those things can no longer exist. They just can't. So why worry about it? Why reinforce that energy? Because when you fuss over something, you give it energy. You don't stop it, you feed it. So why feed it? Let it go. Let it be. Bless it if you want. And say, I thank you for being in my reality and showing me what I need to see. And let it go. Because it really does not matter. What matters is you and how you relate to this. Do you let it get you upset? James went through a thing where he was mad at his governor and he was really frustrated and angry, and then he realized it wasn't serving him. The anger and all the drama and stuff was cutting him off from who he is, from divine source, and he had to let it go. So that was a lesson for him. But also let it be a lesson for the rest of you. What's going on is just drama that is playing out. It's going to change. Governments are going to change. The whole, everything is going to change. You're going to a higher frequency. And these types of things cannot exist in that frequency. In that frequency, there is unity, there is love, there is realizing that you are all one. Every single one of you. You are all God. You have a God spark in you, or else you wouldn't exist. So when we say you are God, that's what we are referring to. Your divine source, who you are, where you come from, is God. And your purpose here, now, in this time, is to be that. How's that for a startling thought? You should be God? Wow, that's sacrilegious, isn't it? Well, who cares about religion? How's that for sacrilegious? Religion is a way of control, a way to keep you in line, a way to make you do what others want you to do. So, does that mean you do not believe in God? You do not believe in Christ? Absolutely not. If anything, it's more empowering. You are more in tune with the divine. You are more in tune with the overall Christ and your own Christ consciousness. When you bring that into your everyday life, just imagine what that can do in the world. If you stand as a beacon of what you are, of love, of Christ consciousness, of your I am consciousness, and radiate all that, it will change the world. And if you get together with others of like mind and do that in concert, the power is unbelievable. So look for others like you. Come together with them, however you do that. And let that love and light and divine being of who you are shine. James was talking to a friend of his, and he had an experience where he was under attack from the dark forces, and he was in that waking state where you're not asleep, you're not awake, and he knew something was out of whack, and he asked what it was, and he was told it's an attack of the dark forces because they don't want you doing what you're doing. And he said, wait a minute, you guys, meaning all of us, all of his guides, and there are many, you're supposed to be protecting my little space here and keeping this safe. And how is that happening? And they said, well, it's in the astral planes. It's not here. So we didn't let it down. And it's like, and James kind of paused. It gave him food for thought. And he says, well, can you go out there and deal with that? And in talking back and forth, they said, yes, we can do that, whatever. And in that moment, James just had enough. And he turned to who he is. And as he said, I turned my light on. And he lit up. Brilliantly, blindingly white. Not just here in his physical body, but in all his bodies through all dimensions. And just blazed. Wasn't long, 15, 20 seconds, whatever, just a short time. And then it faded. But when it did, the dark attack was gone. They couldn't handle that. So it was an example for him of who he is, the power that he has, that all of you have. Every single one of you. So many of you look at Yeshua the Christ and his message, and you get it all wrong. And then churches have tried to play on that. And he says, I am the way. And he is. But what he was doing was showing you the way for you to do what he was doing. And as he said, even as I do, so shall you do, and more. And he meant it. He wasn't here to carry you through all this, which religion wants you to do, give everything to Christ and, don't do anything yourself. Well, it's the opposite of that. You are in charge of your life. So are you going to see the way that he went? Follow the way that he went? Become the light? And do as he did? Or not? It's up to you. So that is my lesson for you today. Be the spirit that you are. Be the Christ that you are, as however sacrilegious that may sound. But you are God, you are Christ. Every single one of you. And if you take that to heart and let that love of the divine radiate, it changes the world. And the more you do it, the higher your frequency goes, the higher the planet goes. And the more of these things that cannot exist in that frequency go away. So if you want to change the world, as the old thing goes, if you want to see a change in the world, first change yourself. Look at the lessons that Yeshua gave you. Be love. And accept everything. Just let it go. It is not part of who you are. It's not for you to fix. It will fix itself. So think on that and carry that into your life every moment, every day, and watch the change that happens. Thank you. Well, I didn't expect that. I never do. Well, once in a while, he'll give me a preview of what's coming, but this morning was not one of those. So anyway, I'm happy to bring whatever he wants to hear, wants you to hear. So yeah, I've done my deed today. Now I can go away. Bye.